When you think of puppet shows, one usually associates it with puppets on strings. But look at these puppets, performed in a waist-deep pool of water. Presented by the world-famous Thang Long Troupe from Vietnam, these puppets perform in a tank that was specially built at Auckland's Aotea Square as part of the city's International Arts Festival. It's the first time such a specialized art form has reached our shores, and it's a tradition which dates back 1,000 years.
It was originally performed in the north of Vietnam, in the villages of the Red River Delta area, by the farmers to entertain the villagers and to celebrate the harvests. It was also performed during religious festivals and weddings. It was created sometime in the 11th century by the farmers who spent the days in the rice paddies.
Storytelling, which had a strong reference to Vietnamese folklore, is the essential theme of the water puppetry.
The type of stories we tell are about day-to-day village life in general. We tell stories about farming and fishing, and there are scenes such as buffalo fights and children playing games. There are also stories about our legends and national history. Some of these stories were told by grandparents to their grandchildren. There's also a lot of humor in the way these stories are told.
The puppeteers are hidden behind a split bamboo screen and under a pagoda resembling a temple facade. A large rod with a string mechanism hidden beneath the water controls the puppets. Made of wood and then lacquered, there are nearly 40 puppets portraying different characters used in the show.
The puppets are made from a special type of wood which grows near the ponds in Vietnam, and this type of wood can withstand humidity and is able to float on water. Each puppet is handmade and given several layers of a lacquer paint to make them last a long time. A lot of coordination is required by the puppeteers, and they are hidden behind the screens so that the audience can feel a magical experience.
A traditional Vietnamese orchestra provides background music accompaniment. The singers sing songs which tell the story, being acted out by the puppets.
Live music is a very important part of the puppetry. The musicians are selected from music institutions. They have at least 4 years of training, and then they do a further 3 years of apprenticeship with our company before they start performing professionally.
While this art form is ancient, it has only found its way to the world stage in recent years as a result of normalized relations between Vietnam and the West.
Because of the Vietnam War, the water puppet show was slow in developing. Since the mid-80s, it began again, and now there are many different companies who have revived this ancient traditional art. Our company was established in 1969, now has a base in Hanoi and one in Saigon. We have been to nearly 40 different countries. This is the first time we are in New Zealand, and it is with much pride we showcase our ancient art form.
For the festival's artistic director, David Malakari, it wasn't an easy task to bring the show to Auckland.
It was a challenge to get this show here, even though they're very experienced performers and they've travelled to over 40 countries around the world. We looked around at parks where we might do it in an actual pond, but none of them were quite deep enough, or they didn't have any bank where we could build some seating stands. And we really wanted to do it outdoors. You could do it in a theatre, but we felt that it was an outdoor kind of show. So after kind of looking around all the parks and not finding a proper place, in the end the square seemed like a really good place to do it because it connected it back to the rest of the festival.
The puppetry was extremely clever. I thought it was really great, yeah, and kind of magical, really, yeah.
It was interesting because we went to Vietnam, so we've seen some of it before, but this is really good, and I think when the sun goes down and it's dark and it's lovely.
I thought it was good. It's the first one I've ever been to, and I'm not really interested in this stuff, but I actually thought it was really cool. And I also like the dragon sea serpent things. I don't really know what they were, but yeah, it was a good show.
I'm originally from Vietnam. I watched many water puppet shows as a kid, and especially this reminds me of my childhood in Vietnam and a lot of memories that I spent back there. So yeah, It's really good fun.
At the end of the show, the stars of the night, the puppeteers, who are responsible for this ancient Vietnamese folk art, finally make an appearance.